99.1 The Sports Animal. You know, we always talk NFL, so why not bring in NFL great that's an outstanding broadcaster as well for SiriusXM NFL Radio, also with Pro Football Focus PFF. The great Solomon Wilcots joins us here on The Sports Animal. Solomon, Vince Ferrara here in Knoxville. Pleasure to talk to you. How are you?
Vince, I'm doing great, and always good to talk NFL football and other things as well. So I'm doing good, but thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, real pleasure. So let's jump in real quick. I have a number of NFL topics with you, but you are behind a terrific program that I'm really invested in it as well, and really curious to have you expand on, and that's Operation Expanded Testing Affinity Empowering. And the website is affinitytesting.com. And Solomon, I want you to explain what this is behind, because especially in this COVID world that we're in right now and things opening up, but still having that cloud over our head, that not having gotten past this with the variants and stuff, what you're doing with this company, I think, and this initiative is really important. So explain what Operation Expanded Testing Affinity Empowering is all about.
Well, every fall brings with it a time to go back to school, but it's also the beginning of football season. And just like with the National Football League, really wanting to keep players safely on the field and keep everything going when it comes to keeping their schedule while trying to play through a global pandemic. The same is even true for our society. We want to keep our kids in school. And so Operation Expanded Testing is a federally funded program that's offered through to schools to help keep kids in school K through 12, but also with HBCUs, with universities and other organizations. But primarily, we want to make it safe for kids to go back to school while trying to, get their education through a global pandemic. So it's a federally funded program at no cost to the school system, no red tape, no paperwork, no audits. All they have to do is go to the website or call the number, and it's an easy plug and play. Affinity Empowerment will come in and train staff members and set you up with the laboratory to expedite making sure that everyone coming into your school, staff and students, are coming in safe.
Well, Solomon, this sounds like such a no-brainer. There's no cost involved, which, as you know, would probably be one of the things that would scare some people off, especially with tighter budgets. But you take care of all of that, especially when a lot of these schools maybe couldn't afford it. How is it the newness of this initiative? Is it, or are there other reasons maybe why more people haven't done this so far?
Well, unfortunately, as you well know, Vince, COVID-19, it's a global pandemic. It's something that threatens our health around the world. But here nationally, it becomes so politicized for whatever reason. So whether it's wearing masks or whether or not you're going to get vaccinated or not. And those are personal choices. I don't think that we've gone fully to mandating what people should do. But I think almost everyone agrees that we all should be tested regularly to make sure that not only we're keeping ourselves safe, but we're protecting our family members and loved ones and friends. And so if we're all going to come into work together, you want to know that people who are coming into the office to work are not impacting the environment in a negative way. And so we want to make sure that they, have the ability to test for COVID-19. And what we're talking about is COVID-19 surveillance through testing. And so that when everyone comes in, that they're not impacting negatively the environments. And it starts with taking care of our kids in school K through 12. All you have to do is go to affinitytesting.com or call the number 844-613-0469 to find out how you can sign up. It's very easy. Again, no audits, no paperwork, no red tape. Very easy to do.
Yeah, the health of not only the student athletes and everyone around the program, but everyone in contact with them as well is really important, and it's no cost. So again, affinitytesting.com will get you that info again before we're done. Want to get into some NFL things with you, Solomon, and I want to start in Kansas City. Obviously, the Chiefs will have a great team, but their rookie right guard right now, and Trey Smith, it was so popular here at the University of Tennessee, and a lot of people just couldn't understand with the medical, even with that, why he went so low in the 6th round. Chiefs feel like they found a steal. Just how impressive has Trey Smith been with Kansas City?
He's been very impressive and arguably having the best training camp of any of the members of the retooled offensive line. Remember, a lot of resources after trading for Orlando Brown, Joe Thuney. He's an unrestricted free agent. He got the big contract, but there's no doubt they have found a rookie that it poses tremendous upside, particularly when you talk about the late draft pick. And so the Chiefs know they've done their homework, but, John Dorsey, I just think they believe that they have really hit a home run in terms of the draft selection.
Fans are really excited about that. And, the New Orleans Saints are always stacked, including this year with the most former University of Tennessee players on it. Obviously, it starts with Alvin Kamara, Marquez Callaway now with a bigger role on offense at wide receiver, an undrafted free agent that was exciting at Tennessee. Shy Tuttle on that defensive line. Bryce Thompson was an undrafted free agent rookie. They had Ethan Wolf, another undrafted player. Well, any thoughts on any of those guys, obviously starting with AK running back?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and start with Marquez Callaway because it's been just a phenomenal surprise, the way that he's come out and has given their offensive lift and given them some production at the wide receiver position. When you think about Michael Thomas and the potential that he could miss opening day, what Callaway is bringing to that offense is greater hope that the wide receiving group around the questions that they have at quarterback and in terms of whether it's going to be Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston, they need productivity out of the wide receivers. Alvin Kamara, you're right. It starts and I think ends with him. We know what he did for the offense last year, scoring 21 touchdowns, lifting that offense when they really needed someone to. With Michael Thomas out, he stepped up. But this year, to really get through the season and overcome the threat within their own division from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're going to need all hands on deck. And without Michael Thomas, they need someone amongst the wide receiving group to what we call perform above expectations. So far, Callaway's been able to do that. Let's see if he can keep it up.
Visiting with Solomon Wilcots from PFF and SiriusXM NFL Radio. They're on there, been doing their camp tours, which is so much fun to do. Just a quick word on that, Solomon. I mean, you guys just do it for football junkies, many of us out there, how neat that is to be able to go on site to these camps, do have a full breakdown of all those teams. That must be so much fun for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fun to look at the numbers and try to evaluate players and obviously try to predict outcomes, which we believe that a lot of the metrics we use at PFF are highly predictable. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't claim to do that, but we do want to just bring another portal, another tool for fans to use as they're looking to pick their fantasy teams, looking to predict and project who are the players that are going to have breakout seasons, or the teams, right, that can leverage throwing on first down and going for it on fourth down, and going for it 2-point conversions, using all of those metrics to put more points on the board and increase their chances of winning. We believe that the data is real. We think it's positive and a part of the process when it comes to enjoying NFL football. So all you have to do is go to pff.com to get the latest and greatest on some of the work that some really good, talented people are doing.
And there's so much data there that maybe you don't think about. It's the pros like Solomon that are breaking that down. I remember hearing you and another former Bengals great, Bruce Gradkowski, a couple Bengals on SiriusXM. I heard you guys not that long ago. So let's talk about Joe Burrow back from injury in the Cincinnati Bengals. What do you expect from the Bengals this year?
Well, as you well know, Joe Burrow attempted 41 passes per game over the 10 games he played last season. We all thought it was too much. We thought it might lead to injury because I think when you're starting to throw that much, it exposes the quarterback at a high level. And unfortunately, he was hurt But in talking with Joe Burrow recently, he says that he's beginning to not just heal physically, but psychologically. It takes time to overcome, to get comfortable with people falling around you, and just be comfortable focusing downfield on those throws. He says he's getting better. Bruce and I still think it's going to require some more time. That's why you're not going to see him in the preseason. They've got one more preseason game. I think they hold Joe Burrow out. He did tell me, though, Vince, he will be under center when this team takes the field September 12th, week 1, against the Minnesota Vikings. So he said, look, he's going to allow the coaches to do their thing, the front office. If they don't want him to play in the preseason, he's going to follow the script. But no way he misses the week 1 appointment. He wants to be back by that game. And I think that's when we're all going to see what we really have with Joe Burrow, just how far he's been able to come back from that injury. Only 8 months after post-operation, 8 months into it, and this is a 8 to 12 week recovery. I should say 12 to 15 month recovery. He's only 8 months at this point in time.
Yeah, and part of that really talented receiving core, as you know, is T. Higgins, who is from Knoxville as well. One of those players that got away during the Butch Jones era. It's a sore subject around here, but couple other quick teams before we get you out that I want to ask you about. We got a ton of Titans fans here in Knoxville. What's your projection for the Titans this season?
Titans defense has to come around. I think the offense is going to be as potent as ever, if not better than what we've seen the last 2 years. We've seen a resurrection with the career of Ryan Tannehill. I think A.J. Brown has been as good as any wide receiver in the league over his first 2 years in the National Football League. But now Julio Jones comes over, and we know what Derrick Henry brings to the table. He's one of the most talented running backs. If you're just going to pound the run game, and now you have to force defenders to come into the box to keep him from getting another 2,000-yard rushing season, you're exposed on the outside with Julio Jones and A.J. Brown. Both guys can win. They're both wide receiver number 1. And I think they're going to continue with play action pass, the RPO scheme. We know Ryan Tannehill can not only throw it, but he's athletic. He can hurt you with his legs in the RPO game. So I think offensively, they're as good as they want to be. Remember, they averaged close to 30 points a game last year. And so they can put points on the board. This is going to be about the retool defense, right? Last year, you couldn't get pressure on the quarterback. Let's see if this year, and by way of some of the moves made defensively, if we can generate more pressure on the quarterback. And coverage has to be much better than it was a year ago as well. And I love Caleb Farley. I really do. I thought he was a guy that was perfect for the Titans. He's got to be able to make plays. He's a playmaker when it comes to his ball skills, and he's excellent when it comes to coverage skills. He's going to have a phenomenal rookie campaign and impact the secondary.
Last thing with Solomon Wilcots from SiriusXM, NFL Radio, and PFF joining us. We'll get back to tell you more about Operation Expanded Testing in a moment. The Dallas Cowboys, a lot of fans here for the Cowboys. They draw great TV ratings in this market. I know all the offseason talk has been about Dak. What do you see in the Cowboys this year?
Well, we know the Cowboys have an offense. I think if this offensive line is healthy, and it appears they will be, they lost a lot of those members last year, as you remember. And even though they lost Dak Prescott, but when you lost those members of the offensive line, really set the team back. The defense struggled because they jumped into a new system under a new coach, but with the same people. It's pretty hard to do. So they've gone back to a 4-3 defense. And Michael Parsons, I think, is going to be an impact player. Jalen Smith going to continue to be an impact player. The secondary has to perform well. They didn't generate a lot of pressure on the quarterback last year as well. So this is really about having a comprehensive defense that can keep the score down, get turnovers, and put the offense on a short field. If they can do that, given the firepower they have on offense and a healthy Dak Prescott, I think Ezekiel Elliott is motivated to bounce back from the numbers he put up last year. I believe if the defense is balling, the Dallas Cowboys should win the division. But you and I both know we've had high hopes for the Cowboys in the past, and they let us down. So they have all the makings of a really good team. Now they just got to go out and do it.
Operation Expanded Testing, and you can go to affinitytesting.com or call 1-844-631-0469. Again, Solomon, final words on Operation Expanding Testing. No cost for not only the K through 12 schools, but many other outlets as well to take advantage of this.
Absolutely. Operation Expanded Testing. It's a federal program at no cost, no red tape, no paperwork, no audits. And yes, it is provided mainly for schools K through 12, but how about HBCU schools? How about other universities to help keep kids in school, make sure we can get through the school year, whether you're a K through 12 or a college student, but also for what we call congregate settings, for prisons, homeless shelters, anywhere where people are congregating, where it's a lot of us in one place. This is a federal no-cost program. All you have to do is go to affinitytesting.com. That's affinitytesting.com and go or call the number 844-613-0469 to find out more about the program.
All right, man. So smart of them to have a great spokesperson like yourself, really helping get the word out. And we'll try to do as much for you on that as well, because I think it's outstanding. Solomon, great to talk to you. Much respect on all your work, and hopefully we can do it again down the road.
Keep up the great work, and thanks for having me. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Solomon. Have a great one. That is Solomon Wilcots from SiriusXM NFL Radio and Pro Football Focus, joining us here on 99.1, The Sports Animal.